Make sure you turn your volume on, Mark. We can't see your screen.
All right. Yeah, I know. Hang on here. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of AmericanDreamTrading.com's live futures education program. American Dream Trading was founded by Chad Christian, who owns it, operated it, manages it, runs it, and has incorporated it as a legal corporation. Glad you could be here today. I'll try to get my, there it is, finally popped up. There's a little delay there. All right, so we're good to go there now. Tick on YouTube. That'll pop up here in a second. So anyway, if this is your first time being here today, make sure you click that like, share, and subscribe button, and also make sure that you also click on that notification button so that you don't miss any of our upcoming broadcasts. And what I mean by broadcasts, that we are live here at American Dream Trading 3 times daily. Coaches live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I'm live here with the Futures Training and Education Program from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And we have our aftermarket show starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time with our moderator and lovely host and trainer, Dawn. And that aftermarket show can be found over on our YouTube channel, which is, guess what it is? American Dream Trading. So if you haven't been to our YouTube channel, please go over there and subscribe. You'll find over 2,800 absolutely free training videos that you can watch at your leisure. You can watch them by topic. There is a section there where they are grouped by topic, and I would highly recommend that you start watching the 2-minute EWO trading strategy videos. You can hear me on Zoom now, right? Sorry, didn't unmute that button. There we go. So we also have some promos going on still this week. We have 3 different options for you that you can come in and kick the tires for absolutely free for 7 days. We have our premium membership, which is kind of it's focuses on everything, but it's primarily stocks and stock options, and that starts with our live Zoom training program at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time daily, Monday through Friday. So you can get into that tomorrow morning if you join today, absolutely free for 7 days. We also have our crypto 7-day absolutely free promo, in that they have a live Zoom training call every Wednesday night at 7:15, and they have an occasional pop-up trainings also. They just held a fantastic one last night that I attended, and it's just those between Chris and Bucko, I'll tell you what, them guys have so much knowledge, and they're great trainers. They take seemingly complicated principles and boil them down into a method that even I can understand what they're talking about. So it's an exciting thing going on over there. And we also have my personal favorite, which is this, Futures. You can join a Futures membership free for 7 days by taking advantage of that promo. At the end of the 7 days, if you do not cancel, you'll automatically be billed at the monthly rate for the memberships. If you do not wish to be billed, then you can cancel anytime before that 7 days and own absolutely zero zitch, nada, nothing, honey. Right? It's a heck of a deal. You get to see what goes on behind the scenes here at American Dream Trading. What you're watching here on these live broadcasts are but the tip of the iceberg that's really going on these lives. We start that training at Futures. We start training and trading at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time each and every morning, Monday through Friday. And I forgot to mention that. So glad you could be here. If you have any questions, feel free to type them down into your social media chat box, and we'll try to do our best to answer your questions live as time allows. If I happen to miss your question and it gets buried, I usually scroll back through them, but don't be afraid to ask again after a certain amount of time. Full life, good to see you. Any trades today? Yeah, I did all kinds of trades today. I traded gold. I've been trading gold like crazy the last few days. I just also did a NQ trade here a little bit ago to the downside, and it's now popped back up. I rode this down. I didn't get all of this, but I think I got in here, if I'm not mistaken, below the 200 somewhere around here. Rode that down and got out right before it hit my level here at this double bottom, triple bottom, quadruple bottom. Very strong point of resistance here. So I got out right before that. Took my profits. It did go down a hair more, but I locked in my profits before it bounced. And really didn't. It bebop back and forth, but statistically I knew that was going to happen, and it did happen. It's going back on the upside. I'm not in that trade to the upside, but anyway. So, good. So, yes, I've done lots of trades. I did very well. I reached a new milestone in my trading career today. So, it's a pretty good day overall. Traded last night. I had a really good day yesterday in the open market. And then last night, probably, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock, I went back into the after hours trading, which opens up at 6 p.m. for futures. You can trade futures 23 hours a day. The only one that can trade more than futures is the crypto markets. They can trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We can get it for 23 hours. Basically, if you want to look at it that way, 6 days a week. It opens up on Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. So I love futures. It's my jam, and it's rewarded me very well financially. So what we'll do here today, we'll answer your questions, conduct some live trading here. What you do see here on my screen is TradingView. It's a trading software. It's totally independent. It's used worldwide. It's probably, I don't know it as a fact, but I would venture a guess to say it is probably the single most popular trading software for day traders around the world. Big companies also use it as an overlay because they have it licensed out. A lot of your prop firms use a TradingView overlay. But it's a totally standalone. We're not associated with us in any way. Just a lot of our members use it. It's a very valuable tool. It's very easy on the eyes. It's pretty. And what you see here is what you get with your paid memberships with American Dream Trading. If you get the VIP Gold, Crypto, or Futures membership, you get these Coaches 3.0 indicators. 4.0 is currently in the works. We still have a little bit of scripting bugs in there and things we're modifying and adding to it, so it hasn't been released quite yet. What you do see on mine is I do have the beta version, which is 4.0. As a moderator, I'm helping test it. So our members do not have this version. It just has, they have almost everything that's in this, but there's a lot of other things that we've added to it as options that they can turn on or off if they so choose. So this comes with your membership. Helps you decide, evaluate trades better, when to get in trades, when to get out of trades, and that all comes with the training we provide here at American Dream Trading. We are a training and education company. We're not a call-out group. At no time will we ever tell you to buy NASDAQ now, sell NASDAQ now, right? Buy the Russells now, sell the Russell now. We don't do that. We're not a call-out group. Be very wary of those call-out groups. Number one, you don't know if they're calling out something that's too high of a risk for you. You know what I mean? So, and also remember on social media, you're on a probably minimum of 20 seconds to 45-second delay. So by the time you hear those on your social media platforms, it's already critical time has passed. We don't WhatsApp you, we don't Telegram you, we don't text you, we don't send DMs. Only two ways we communicate with our paid members, and that is through our Discord, which is absolutely free, and we only contact each other in there through our actual stock lounges, depending on what membership level you have. We never even though Discord has a direct messaging program built in, we do never use that. You will never receive a DM or any other form of communication through our Discord. If you do, it is a scammer. 100% of the time, it is a scammer, and you always need to report and block those people, because anybody can come in and copy my profile and pretend to be me. That's why we do not use that method of communication. We do it openly and upfront inside our individual membership lounges. The other way that we communicate with each other for our paid members is through our live Zoom call trainings every single day. You can open up your mic and ask questions. We can ask you questions live through an open microphone, And we also have the live Zoom chat. So that's a protected thing. Only paid members can get inside of that. So with those free 7-day trials, you have full access just like you were a paid member. You get to join us either at 8:45 in the morning for the stocks and stock option with Coach and the other moderators, 8:45 in the morning with myself and other moderators and members inside the futures program. And cryptos are Wednesday nights at 7:15, and there's occasionally pop-up training ones also. So take advantage of that, and you can join us live inside our live Zoom tradings. Well, if you bought one, if you got in or signed up right now, you can come in this live Zoom as we speak, or you can join us tomorrow morning. So we look forward to seeing you. Go to our website, americandreamtrading.com, and you'll scroll down. You see our free Discord. You will need that Discord, so sign up for that. That's free. Also, we've never charged for it, never will charge for it. It is also currently free. And because the reason you need that is because that's where we put our Zoom links for our paid members to get into the live training. And once you sign up for that, then go back and grab that paid membership. Or you can grab paid membership first if you want to, or the unpaid or the free trial, however you want to do it. And that will get you going. Once you verify your account, you'll be good to go. And there will be instructions on what you need to do to get into our live Zoom training each and every day for absolutely free for 7 days. I will assure you, you'll love it. All right, Joe Crow over there in the YouTube chat asks, so if you follow the 9 EMA and come to support or resistance lines, do you pay attention and act on those lines or just focus on the price in relationship to the EMA? Great question. Well, if you have lines on your chart, right, and what he's talking about is we're looking at historical levels of where these trade at, okay? I don't have this one really charted out that much. I'm using one of my other screens so that you guys can't see that I trade with. So I have historical levels. I'm just going to use this one here. This is a 1 minute. I wouldn't normally chart out historical levels on a 1 minute chart, but you can see, right? I got some lines here already. So, yes, I use my 9 EM. There's many trading strategies. So everyone should be using Coach's 2-minute EWO trading strategy, but I've advanced in my knowledge and understanding and training since being a member of American Dream Trading for the last 3 years. So I use the trading strategy the coach teaches also of the break and hold above the 9 EMA, either up or even down, right? Works both ways. And then I will stay in that trade using the 9 EMA as a scalper. As long as it stays above, never breaks and holds below the 9, I'll stay in the trade, right? Same way when it goes down. If I'm going short, there's my break of the 9, there's my hold candle, I'll stay in the trade as long as it stays below the 9, as long as it doesn't break and hold above the 9. But however, that's to get me in, and that is also to keep me in a trade. In other words, this trade here never said to get out at all until it bounced right here, right? There's where it broke and held above the 9. Now, you asked about the support and resistance line. In other words, the historical lines of where these have traded. And I'll usually start on a 4-hour chart here, right? And I'll go here and I'll look and see, I can see each one of these candles is 4 hours. So those are a little bit stronger levels. So I can pop lines on there. What I'm ideally looking for is multiple hits. See this here and here? So I can look right there, bang, right there. Now this one did break a little bit above it, but that's okay, right? I got a line here. I can see this topped off here. So I got that level, and so on and so forth. I rinse and repeat, getting all my critical ups and downs, right? I'm looking for multiple places that it touches, right? So those are my historical levels. Why is that important? Because these things will honor these historical levels. People will buy and sell at those levels because they already know by looking at this information that that's where people are trading at, right? Everything else in between is just kind of like a channel or a zone where it's trading at. So once I break this down, I'll go 4 hour, 2 hour. You can go month, day, however you want to do it. To get some quick lines on there, I'll just do 4 hour and 2 minute. And then I'll trade within those lines. So the question was, do I use the 9 exclusively and don't worry about these historical levels? No, historical levels matter. It's almost like you can tell where it's going to stop at, right? Or pull back or bounce from. Just like a triple top or triple bottom, double tops, double bottoms. VWAP, it might bounce off VWAP, might bounce off to 200, right? So I have to respect not only my indicators, but I also have to respect where people bought and sold this at. And that is why we draw lines on our chart and get historical levels where this trades at. Now, you see I popped this line here, right? Now, these ones did break above it, right? And it will do that. It doesn't always stop exactly on the line. But when I'm drawing my historical lines on a longer time frame, I want to see where it hits more often. See how these came back up here? That same line, even though we had some breakthroughs, they ended up pulling right back. They couldn't sustain up there. So, these here all bounced. Look how many times that bounced against her trying to break through, and ultimately it didn't. And they got tired of it, and they just like, crap, heck with it. We're just going to sell off, right? And what did it do? It came down to this historic level, right? These are triple bottoms. So it's even more than triple bottoms now, right? So that's a very strong support level where people like to buy and sell. Going up, it's called a resistance line. If it's coming down, that same line would be your support level. And this is a very strong support. The only way to know that is going out and looking at the bigger picture. So once I'm into trade by going into the break and hold of the 9 and hold, that's with the extra candle sitting on shoulder of the previous candle. And then I'll manage my trade. As long as it stays above the 9, I'll stay in. However, as it approaches these historical levels, I call them, I just me, it's not a real term, but I call those my points of decision, right? I may have more lines than this that's on here right now, but as it approaches, while I am in the trade, okay, as this climbs up, I have to ask myself, what am I going to do as it gets to this line? And I have to make that decision beforehand, all right? I know that historically, people may buy and sell here, and it could reverse on me, right? What did it do here? This one here come up first time, and it rejected, right? See here? Came up, bounced. It actually kind of touched it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You can argue maybe 4, 3 anyway, right? And it rejected. Well, it come back down, bounced, and then it finally went through. Usually the quicker that it'll retest that level, the more likely it is to break through. Well, this one did it at least 3 times. On the 4th try, it finally broke through. Coming back down, that same line, which was resistance going up, is now support. So you can see it came down. There's 1 with a wick, 2, 3. That one just bounced way away from it, come back down 4 times. On the 5th try, the candle actually broke through, right? So again, it was retesting that level, which in this case was support, which was previously resistance going up. You can think of resistance as the ceiling in your room. If you're in your house, if you stand on a ladder, you bump your head on the ceiling. Why? Because it's a barrier to going up to the next floor, right? That's resistance. You're going to bang your head. Coming down is the floor you're standing on, right? In other words, to get into the basement, to go lower, you got to be able to get to the basement, right? So, it's going to test that also. And then finally, it'll break through there. So support coming down, resistance going up on the same line. So yes, each one of these lines that I have drawn on a historical level is a point of decision for me as a trader once I'm into trade. Now, another way that I use these lines is before I enter the trade, okay? Let's say I came down here and I want to play this back up now, right? So, it finally broke through here, right? There's my break, there's my and hold. Well, it's right here at this level, right? I may decide to delay my entry until it actually breaks through that line and holds above that. I may actually give up a few dollars on purpose just to make sure that it doesn't pull back. And you can see this one actually did pull back. So if I'd have got in here, it pulled back, I'd have been in a losing trade for the first, 2 minutes plus, maybe 3 minutes plus after I got in. And that happens, right? So sometimes it is better just to wait a little bit longer, even though this was my entry point based on my criteria on the break and hold above the 9. It might have behooved me to wait until this had a break and hold above this point of decision, this level, right? And I wouldn't have had to go through these pullbacks. Now, ultimately, yes, if I'd have got in on this candle, yes, it went up and I'd have made a lot of money, right? But in the meantime, I would have been losing quite a bit of money here. So I will even use historical levels. I may delay my entry just to make sure that it is going to break and hold. Additionally, against that level too. So every time, so now once I've got through here, I'm in this trade, I'm going up and up and up, still staying on the 9. Oh, I pulled back below the 9. Did it break and hold below the 9? Nope, it's still touching the line, even though it pulled back. Would that have gave me a little bit of heartburn? Yeah, it would have. That's a lot of money to have it retrace on you, right? But it did not break and hold. Matter of fact, it kind of bounced off the 21 and went back up. So if I can hold to my guns and trust the 9 in this case, right? It's been respecting the 9 the entire day, right? Up here, once it breaks through, it didn't break through here either, right? So if you see it's respecting 9, you stay in the trade, right? Helps you stay in longer. Gives you a line in the sand. When do I get out, right? So I'm in here. I know unless this breaks and holds below the 9, I'm staying in the trade. All right. The other criteria, I got to decide what am I going to do when it comes up to this next historical level where people buy and sell at, right? So I can either, and this is what I do in a majority of my personal way I trade, especially if it's coming up to a double top or a triple top, one of those type of things, I will actually sell before it touches that line because I know statistically it's going to pull back, right? So what if it doesn't? Well, that's fine. I locked in my profit here. If it decides to break and hold above that level, then I'll re-enter the trade, right? That's the beauty about futures. I can re-enter the trade. As soon as I exit, I have full access to that same margin immediately along with my profits. So not only can I retrade my margin, I can retrade my profits that's caused my account to grow. And I might be able to go in bigger in maybe the next trade, whatever, right? That's up to you how you do that. So yes, every historical level is a point of decision. And I asked myself that same thing. What am I going to do? What's going on up here? Same way with regression channels up here, right? You know, I'll use the top and the bottom of this regression channel, which is feeding down here, right? I'm looking backwards right now. Let's go down here. This will respect this channel. If it breaks and holds below this, it will generally continue to go down. Not always, but statistically. Same way, if it breaks and holds above the top of the channel, it will tend to go up. And as you can see, once it got here, now see what happens is this is always changing mathematically. We're in a downtrend. So these candles no longer inside this channel. This is now the new channel to the downside it's trading at. So this keeps adjusting mathematically here. So as you can see, it went in here, come up, hit the top of that channel, bounced down, hit the bottom of that channel, bounced up, didn't hit the diddle in the middle there. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the middle of the channel. Other than I won't enter a trade when it's in the middle. So you never diddle in the middle. There's a little saying we have here. Again, come down, hit the bottom of that channel, went up. Look what it did. Hit the top of that channel. So do you think I don't respect these lines also? Right? I don't have to draw an additional line there. I can use this indicator that comes with your paid membership and use that also for part of my. So now I have a lot of different things here I'm looking at. It sounds complicated. It makes your head spin probably the way I'm explaining it. But I will assure you, after we train you up, which takes time, right? When you understand what a trend line is, what an EMA and an MA and all those things are, what is VWAP, what is the 200 MA, what do they mean individually? What do they mean working together, right, as a team? This is a whole novel. I say it's a whole novel of information. But once you get the time and experience and training under your belt, however long that takes you, you'll be able to look at this instantly and decide within a matter of seconds if I want to enter this trade. Right? You'll be able to tell. So that's how that works. So yes, everything on here is something for me to make a decision on. And yes, you need to be focused on your trade once you're in it. And you use all these things as your guidepost, as your roadmap, right? You wouldn't drive from Miami, Florida to Anchorage, Alaska without a map, right? Some way of telling you to get there, whether it's a physical paper map or, you know, your phone, your iPhone, you know, Google Maps or Apple Maps or something to that effect, right? With the GPS. Could you get to Alaska from Miami, Florida? Well, yeah, you know, it's northwest. So all you got to do is get in your car and start driving north until you can get to where you can drive northwest, right? Once you get to the Georgia area, right? Alabama, whatever, you can start heading northwest. But if you ain't heading northwest at the right area, right degrees of up and over, you're going to end up in California or Oregon or somewhere you don't want to be, right? So having this roadmap helps you in your daily trading, right? Each individual trade. So they're all important. So great question. And we train you how to do all that. Is it easy? No. But the overall concept's not that difficult. But being able to evaluate what you see can be. It's a great question, Joe. Thank you for that. All right, over here, let's scroll up here, Tiki Talk, see what you guys got going on up here. Let me scroll back up in case I missed something here. Let's see. You're welcome, Joe. Thank you. Jeffrey, Child of God is back. Good to see you again, Jeffrey, regular attender here. Hey, Mark Danny says, nice to see you again. Well, nice to have you here. Was part of ADT a year ago. Glad you are here. Well, I'm glad you're here. Well, come back in. Try to get back in here with us. I'm sure you've probably maybe learned a few things, maybe that caused you to leave for whatever reason. So we're glad. Wanda, one sharp lady. Okay, so they say 98%. Who's they, and what 98% are you looking at? Oh, maybe I missed a conversation up there. Okay. Nope. I don't know what you mean by the 98% there, Wanda. But good to see all of you here, Wanda and Chakra, Lena, and Ola, and Venka. Trader B is back. Just me 88. And B and W is back in here. Dylan, we going up or down? I don't know. Which one you talking about, Dylan? That's a pretty general question. Give me more specifics there, buddy. Where can I get your book? I don't have a book. We don't sell books. Hey, Hudson, our number one celebrity over here. He is number one in my book every day. Local celebrity down there in the Gulf Coast. Bringing you up-to-date news as it happens live on a big metropolis TV station down there. Good to have you here. Hudson, longtime member with American Dream Trading over there in TikTok. All right. Good to see you. Hey, Mickey. Good to see you. Thank you, sir. What do I trade? I trade futures. This is what we do here. We trade futures. I trade everything. I can trade stocks. I can trade options. I can trade crypto. I can trade futures. Anything that can be traded, I can trade it. Why? Because a chart's a chart's a chart. Once you learn how to read a chart and get the things on your chart that you need to be a more effective trader, you can trade just about anything once you get the good foundation built. And that takes time and effort. So right now we're looking, there's NQ on my screen. We can look at the S&P 500, which is ES. We can look at the Russell, which is RTY, which is a small cap stocks. We can do anything. We can look at oil. We can look at gold. I traded the snot out of gold today and last night, actually the last couple days, have done very well in trading gold. That's probably my second love. I've been hanging out on NQ a lot lately. As far as metals go, I love gold and platinum. I haven't traded platinum a whole lot lately. I've been more on gold. Gold's really been moving on this news for the last couple days. So it's been very, very fun trading it up and down. And it pays nicely. Yes, I do trade metals. I trade them all, except for I don't trade palladium. I don't know if I might have traded it once, let's say I did. But gold, my order now seems to be gold and platinum. I was trading copper for a long time, especially when the word tariffs were first announced. Traded that a lot. Actually did a couple swing trades on it. Copper's fun to trade when you have the volume. Not this time of the day, though. I like trading copper. I haven't traded copper for a while. It's mainly been gold. It's probably been, well, this last week it's been about 100% of my trades. But yes, I like gold. I like platinum. Platinum can really make you a lot of money. It can also rip your face off, and so can copper. So they're all fun to trade also, as long as you have the volume to move them. Generally, about this time of the day, the volume really drops off. Case in point, if you see my chart here, here's a volume chart. Here's noon today, right? Peaked a lot at noon, started trailing off. A couple little spikes here and there, but essentially, if you say this area here is probably the average volume through the day, you can see we're substantially lower now. As the day wears on, it's going down, 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 right? So that's why it's not that I can't trade it and make it. It's just like sometimes it can get like watching paint dry. Now today, this rest of this week might be an exception to the rule because of the Fed meeting, right? Getting people all excited, but again, it's the same thing. The indices usually retain the most volume after 1 o'clock ish. All right. My favorite inexpensive ticker, well, inexpensive is all a matter of perspective, right? I can trade anything due to my account size, where some of our newer members who have smaller accounts can't trade everything, right? So it's really more of your account size and what broker you're using, right? If you're using Webull, currencies are inexpensive. You can do a lot, trade micros, first of all. Micro contracts versus e-minis are your least expensive. You know, a micro contract of ES, the S&P 500 is about 100, I don't know, 120 bucks. You know, to trade NASDAQ, you're talking like 170-ish, right? And that's with Webull. With Trade-Evate, it's $50 for a ES micro contract versus $120 with Webull, and it's $100 for with Trade-Evate for a NASDAQ micro versus $170. So it varies on the broker. Depends what broker you're using, right? And the price of the margin contracts, not everything. There's fees involved that can vary broker to broker. So you got to look at the big picture. Not one really any better than the other, right? It's whatever you're looking for. If you're a high volume trader, you're looking for lower fees. If you're a small account trader, you're looking for the lowest margins required to make a trade, right? So oil is inexpensive to trade. The currencies can be less expensive. So any of the micro contracts, which generally start with an M, like MES would be the micro S&P 500. ES is the E-mini, the big boy contract, right? E-minis are 10 times the price as a general rule, not always, and they also pay 10 times as much, right? And you can lose 10 times as much in the same trade also, where the micro is a tenth of the price, a tenth of the gain, a tenth of the loss. So you start out trading micros until you can build up your account to be able to trade E-minis. So, all right, Joe Crow, another question. If you have the 9 EMA crossing the 21, but you're in the middle of a channel, do I stay out? Honestly, Joe, if you're asking me as an individual, I don't. As long as it's above the 9, I'm a scalper, so I can scalp pretty much anywhere. You know, I can jump in up here and scalp a candle, right? Even though that was not the ideal entry, which was down here. Okay, but when the 21 is crossing, the 9 is crossing the 21. Let's just say that's right here, right? And it's in the middle of the channel, which in this case, looking in back armchair quarterback, it probably was in the middle of the channel. If I'm not worried so much about that, as long as it has oomph to it, if it has energy, if it has volume, which volume is the gasoline that you throw on the fire, right? If it's got good volume and it's moving, the candle's not sitting there, your L2's moving, right? The volume's coming in, I'll trade it. That's not a barrier to my entry. Now, I'm still going to respect the fact that I have the 55 to deal with yet, right? That's another point of possible resistance. But no, do I stay out of the channel? No, I mean, we say don't diddle in the middle. In other words, don't enter a trade in the middle of the channel. And the only reason we say that is because it can go either up or down, right? When you're in the middle, right, it can go up or it can go down, right? It doesn't necessarily just mean because it is in the middle of the channel, it won't go up or down. It's just kind of a, you know, you don't want to be average. You want a stronger trade. So in this case here, you know, it didn't care about diddling in the middle, did it? Right here, right? See how that is? Now this one did. Come up here and see how that's much smaller these candles are. It lost their volume. You can see the volume dropped off. But this trade over here, volume tended to climb a little bit. So if my candles have, and you'll see it in the candle movement, right? If it's got oomph. Like this candle over here, I expect it to reject off of this here. Right now. See how it's kind of just stopped? It doesn't have enough volume to break through right now. See how it's sitting there? So I'm going to wait on the break and hold above this before I would enter a trade. I'm not going to do here. Statistically, this is going to pull back right here. Now, it doesn't mean it can't go through. It may very well, right? So I respect these regression channels that we have on our indicators here for our paid members also. So this is just like drawing a historical level on my chart. It's in a channel, right? So it's at the top of the channel, right? The green line's the top, red line's at the bottom of the channel, right? If I shrink this down, you can see it, right? So I said it would probably resist there and pull back Doesn't mean it's going to go back down. It could very well go through, but you're going to usually, treat that just like I had a historical line on my chart, right? It's going to think about it before it gets there, unless there's a lot of volume to push it back, right? If people are willing to pay more, well, then it'll keep going. But if they're not, if I know where the channel's at, what do you think everybody else knows there, right? It's not like we have the magic crystal ball that nobody else has. We're using the same information everybody has, right? We're putting it in a graphical form that's easy to see and understand and visually appealing to your eye to help you make better decisions. And with that there, using a parallel channel is what that's called. That's what this is. We call it a regression channel when it's going down. It's basically, essentially, you can draw, most brokers will let you draw these same channels, right? You snap a line, you connect the dots, right? Up and down, and then drag down and let go, and then it'll put your channel in there, and you can see where it's going. Or you can manually draw, right, a line. I can go back up here. Here's the top of that. Draw a line straight down. That's a trend line also, right? And you can do that. If it breaks above it, then you can enter the trade, right? So there's many ways of doing it, and there's many reasons for doing it one way versus another. But yes, so. But yeah, I'm not personally concerned when it gets into this cloud here. And this cloud that you see, it's red. That just shows you it's in a downtrend. It's just a visual thing. You don't have to have that. I can turn that off. All that is filling in the gap between the 21 and the 55, right? This is a critical thing for when these cross over, when the 9 crosses the 21 and they all cross the 55. Ideally, you want to see the 9, 21, and 55 to the downside, and the upside, the 9 will be up here, 21, and then 55. That makes for a better trade. Right now, it's in a transition period. The 9 is actually above the 21. It's trying to get up above that, but it hasn't quite done it yet. So everything's kind of crunched together. So this can go, you could take a trade to the upside or the downside in this case. You got to wait and see. Everything's crunched together. That's kind of exciting. How if this moves up, they're in my rear view mirror. If it goes down, they're in my rear view mirror. So if I go up, all I have to worry about is the 200, right? If I go down, I don't have to worry about any of the major indicators. I just got to play my historical levels because now everything's in my rear view mirror. But I am in that channel, so I will respect those lines also. So it sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But once you get time and experience, right, you will literally be able to decide within seconds of whether I want to enter this trade or not. You'll be able to go bang that fast. I can flip to this chart right here. Here's why I am. Do I want to enter this trade to the downside? Yeah, I can do that to the downside, but I have a double bottom right here, triple bottom right now that it's trying to break and hold below, right? And I also have the bottom of the channel here, but I can make money between in there. See, that's how fast you can decide to do it. Gold. Do I want to do anything? Well, I'm not going to trade gold this time of the day anyway, but that's beside the point. If this was in a regular part, would I enter this trade right now? No, because I want to see it break and hold above this regression channel. I got the 200 MA up there, which is the second strongest indicator on my chart. The rest are down here, so I'm not too worried about that. But I also have a little double top. Even though I don't have a line drawn, I can see behind me, which you can't see because my fat head's in the way, right? There's not a line there, but I can tell there's a line there, right? There's a magical little line. You want to take a magic carpet ride with me? There you go. All right, I can see once it breaks out, I got to get these other areas here and take care of. There's one right here also, right? So I can see these levels here just visually looking behind me a little bit. So it's really tight here. I want to really see it ideally get above the 200. And I made that decision instantly. It took me longer to tell you what I saw than what my brain could do to analyze that instantly, right? And you got to speak it and explain it. It takes forever, right? I used 1,000 words to tell you something that my brain analyzed in a matter of seconds, right? So there you go. That's how that works. And that comes only through training and education and time, right? Doing it over and over and over again. Good questions. All right. Nice to see you, Dodo, joined in there with us. Glad to have you with us. My name is Mark McSee. I'm one of the more than 20 trading moderators here at American Dream Trading. And we are live here 3 times daily. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. daily. Monday through Friday, I'm live with the Futures Education and Trading program, what you're watching here right now from 2 to 4 p.m. every single day. And then we have our aftermarket show starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, with our training moderator, Dawn, over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading, where you'll find for absolutely free over 2,800 training videos that you can watch at your leisure. So head on over there. Also, make sure you have a backup account If you're on YouTube, maybe go to TikTok, maybe go to Facebook, whatever, one of the other social media programs. If you're on TikTok, please go to YouTube, subscribe over there, click your notification button, because well, especially TikTok. You should all, if you're watching on TikTok right now, I implore you just to go over real quick on YouTube, click subscribe and notify, because with TikTok, with this TikTok Studio Live software, it locks up if you can't complete the puzzle in time. It will kick us off our feed. I've even had to cut our feed with no warning that I saw. So I generally have more issues with the TikTok software, the live studio software, than I do anything else. So just so that way, if you get disconnected over there on TikTok, you can jump over on YouTube. So, hey, Just Sell It, one of our Canuck friends, is back in the house again. Jeffy D, thank you for the compliment there. Appreciate the kind words. All right. Any questions you may have concerning futures or trading in general, feel free to type them into your social media chat box, and we'll try to do our best to answer that question. All right, let's see, what do we got going on here? ES is kind of flat right now. The S&P 500, as you can see, I got a whole lot of mess going on here, right? We're back down to the Tokyo session high, which I got a line there, but you can also see that that's a strong support level, this kind of right here, right? So what you try to do is capture the biggest majority of them, or get close. See how these here, back here even, I can go back, see how many times it hits that line or comes close to hitting it and rejecting. Well, here's the same thing. Do I want to enter this trade to the downside? Sure. If it breaks and holds down here, I could also play a quick scalp to the upside, on the bounce, if it bounces, right? I would much prefer to play it to the downside if it can pull and hold to the downside. Let me take a look at my L2, see what we got going on there. They're kind of fighting over the price right now. There's a bunch of orders down, 693. What? What am I looking at? Did I get the wrong? Let's see here. This says 636. And at one, I think I got to change this contract. Hang on 1 second. I think I'm already on it, right? Yeah, I'm already on it. Let's see here. Friday expires the 19th. That's tomorrow. So I am on the U contract. And what do I have on this L2 over here? I think it might be the wrong one here. Hang on here while I type. Yeah, hang on here. I'm button. Excuse me for a second. I'm trying to bring up my L2. Yeah, that's what I thought. September. I gotta type in yes. Show it already changed over to tomorrow's contracts. Here, I gotta get that. Don't even let me here. Yes. Yes, main. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to switch this to the December contract here, if I can. So contract expires. Man, it won't even let me change it now. It's already there. I gotta get. I got to get. Let me see if I can do it a different way here. One moment. More than one way to skin a cat. I can get this one here. Give me some more room. This up here. Get rid of that here. Need to add to my watch list. Yes. Yes. Huh. Well, it won't let me. Well, let's look at NQ. We'll go to the switch. I ain't gonna keep playing this game. All right, we got the same reason I did the NQ, because I figured it'd be about the same looking chart, right? So it is. It almost looks identical in this case, right? All right, let's see here. Just gonna hit enter here. I've got this locked up now. Hang on. There we go. All right, we got that. All right, now I can come down here. All right. So an NQ Make sure I got the right contract, so I'm looking at it up there. No. 735. And I'm in the same situation here. See, we're getting at the contracts are expiring today, so it's causing issues here, and this won't let me. This will not let me force the Weebles one where I'm getting the L2 at backward. I can't go back. We could do it earlier, but now we can't. It's just getting too late in the day, I believe is why. That's all right. I don't have to have it. I can trade it just by looking at my levels, right? Well, that's what I'll do. Waste enough time doing that. So we'll do this. It's late in the day. The contracts expire tomorrow, so they'll be switching to the December contracts. And that's the issue. So I could have caught this bounce off here. Now I'm at the 200. This will probably reject off here again, right? Now, can I do a scalp to the downside there? You know, I could, right? So, oops, closed it. Type in here. I'm typing in numbers over here in the TikTok Zoom chat just to make sure that it recognizes that I'm using it. So I'm waiting here to see if I get a break and hold to the upside. If it does, then I can enter this trade, right? With my stop loss. I want to see, can I get in here and do a quick scalp to the upside? Well, let's see. I can, right? There's my stop loss, right? Let's see if this bounces up here. Definitely up here is a point of decision, but I do have some little minor squiggly things right here where these topped out. It's kind of a little mini double top. I'm not too worried about it. That's why I entered the trade anyway. You can see I'm up $50. All I got to do is click this box. I can lock in my profits. My next point of decision is up here. Now I do have a little bit of a minor one right here about the top of that candle right now. So if this doesn't go up here to the next level, then there. And I can also slide my stop in to lock in my profits, but I won't. So if this doesn't keep popping up there, I'm going to get out of this trade. I'm not going to play around. My point is where I hopefully gets up to here, right? That's what I'm shooting for. But we'll see what happens. I'm watching, literally changing candle. Matter of fact, I'm going to change it to a 1 minute candle so I get a little bit of a better, quicker view on a 1 minute chart since I don't have my L2 up there. There's a red candle. It did not start on the shoulder previous. I'm locking that in. Why did I do that? Well, it was a little bit weaker candle because it didn't start. It's close, but no cigar. It didn't start on the shoulder, which indicates potential weakness. Now it is climbing anyway. But here's the top of that channel, right? And my level and a 200. So essentially I took my profit early, right? It's probably going to pop right here and reverse, right? So can I go to the downside on it? I certainly can. Let's see here if this thing wants to break through. I'm going to go ahead and play this to the downside, saying it's going to reject right here because I got my regression channel. I also have the 200, which is the strongest. So I'm playing the statistical odd here that this will pull back, right? Now I did get in a hair earlier, but that's okay. We'll see if this pulls back where I can snag a few dollars. And it may just go through. You never know, right? Depends on how much volume comes in. As I said, I was playing this on the statistical odds, right? Doesn't work every time. That's the thing about statistics, right? If there's an 80% chance, that means there's a 20% chance it won't, right? So we'll see what happens if this pulls back. It may pull back a little bit and retest. And there I go. I'm up $50 based on that bounce. We'll see if this stays here. If it don't, I'm not going to play around. There we go. $100 in there on that trade also. So that quick, bang, bang. Why did I do that? I played the basically a double top right there. Might even be more than that if I look backwards, right? Yeah, right there. That's a pretty good, decent level, right? Plus I had all three of those confluences there together. So statistically, it should pull back. And what did it do? It pulled back. What I went into the upside trade. I knew it was coming up here to this double top, which is even stronger than that. I knew statistically it would probably bounce and pull back there a little bit, right? And what did it did? I didn't allow it to pull back on me. I took my profit before it actually hit it. Did I give up a few dollars doing that? Yep. But I also guaranteed my profits, right? That can do that. I'm on paper. I always trade. Well, yesterday I traded live, but you didn't see me trading live. I was trading off to the side. I'm trading on paper because I'm talking to you why I'm doing it, and I'm not going to risk my real money because I'm too distracted, just like that. I look to my left and my other screen on my system over here to answer your question. By the time I look over there and look back, I could have lost thousands of dollars. That's why I don't using my real account, but I'm still treating it as such, right? You saw me tell you why I was getting into trade before I did it. You saw me tell you I was getting out of the trade before I did it. I gave you my reasoning, right? And by me saying that verbally out loud, it actually can actually slow me down, especially if I'm looking at my other monitors. And so to protect my family's account, right? There's people that depend on me, right, to make money, to pay our bills, to put food on the table. I'm not going to risk that, Nothing against you guys, but you know what I mean, right? So, can I get in this trade again to the upside? Sure, I could, right? It'll probably pull back a little bit or pause right here at these candles, right? I can see where these ones topped out, even clear over here. Am I going to draw a line there? No. I mean, I can just so you can see it visually, right? Top of this candle here. Look, this candle's on the top of that. So that's a little point of resistance. It's not really, I'm not going to leave that there. I just want to do that just to show you visually. I can see things there by looking behind me. Let's see if it's going to come up here and try to break through this again, right? So I can keep doing this over and over and over and over again. Now, my ideal entry would have been down here, right? And get in. So, and we just continued to do the same thing. What did ES do? He did the same thing. Look at that. Came up, hit VWAP, bounced right back down. Now, we got ES and 200 here together. This might actually be a better trade to get into because it's going to have everything in a rear view mirror. Now, it's actually going to be a weaker trade, even though it looks stronger, because my trend lines, my EMAs down here have not crossed over properly. So this is going to be a little bit weaker trade, even though it's going up. I'm still waiting on the break and hold above the 200, which by that time it'll be above this 55. So I want to see how this candle's here, and then this candle started on the shoulder of the previous. I want to see the same thing with this candle on the next candle. Why is that on a 5 minute? I don't trade on 5 minute. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm on a 1 minute. All right, a little bit different story here. All right, let me load. Okay, so here I am above the channel. There's my 200. I want to see a break and hold here. So I want to see the same what I just told you. I want to see another candle on the shoulder of this candle, which will be in about another 15 seconds for the next candle forms. If it does not start on the shoulder of this candle, I will not enter the trade. As a matter of fact, this one's fading before it can even get there. So now I might have to wait a whole nother candle, right? Got 2 seconds left. We'll see here. See where this next candle starts at. If it starts on the shoulder, then fine. If it don't, well, I'll wait. There it is. Looks like it's starting, right? Now I'm waiting for some oomph, right? I want to see some energy to the upside, right, before I enter this trade. This is using the break and hold strategy. And I'm using the break and hold above a key critical indicator, which is the 200 MA. And it just so happens this is also the top of the channel. Is this giving me confidence it wants to move up? Well, it's very weak, so I'm going to wait here a little bit and see. I'm going to give it a few seconds. Waiting is part of trading, right? Does that look like it's got a lot of volume in it? No, not so much, right? What happened to my stop loss? I thought I clicked that. I must have clicked off. Anyway, now I'm in here without a stop loss. Oh, well. So now my booger picker is my stop loss, right? So that one did start on the previous one. It didn't have a whole lot of energy, but I entered anyway. I'm going to see here. I can take, I could have took that $62 right there and been done with it, right? We'll see what happens here. See how I'm going to stay in this just to show you. See how these candles are smaller. They're not really moving, right? It doesn't look very energetic. Well, that's because of low volume. Look down here. See how low these volume bars are getting, right? Right now, basically, the reason that happens is people are sitting on their hands. Now I'm losing money, see? Because that. And I'm pointing at my chart. I don't care. Again, this is paper trading money. It's not real money. I'm not really losing real money. I'm still trading. I don't want to lose real fake money. And I don't like to lose. I don't care if it is practice money. But without the volume pushing that on, what they were probably doing is, if I go back and look here, they're waiting to break through some key levels here. So everybody's sitting on their hands. No, you go first. Well, right here, look. See how these consolidated over here earlier today? Right here. Let me see, draw a line. I didn't have a line there, and I didn't look back in time. Oh, look at that. Right where I entered at, had I drawn a line there, look where I got in at, just a hair above it, right? So that's what everybody's waiting on. They're waiting to see that this candle's the buyers are coming in to buy that right there, right? That's why they were waiting. If that breaks and holds up above there, you'll see the volume magically increase right here, down here, and the buyers will come in, right? If it doesn't, you may see a mass sell-off because people are going to say, well, it ain't going to get up here. I'm getting out of this. And they'll start dumping it, right? And then I'll end up being in a losing trade. So until they do that, I'm going to, I'm sitting in here just to let you see how this affects the money. I'm minus 62, and then I gain 62. And I'm up there. I'm up 125. That fast, right? Why? Because on a 1 minute candle on ES right now, that moves 6 ticks. Each tick is 1250. So there we go. So now there's the energy. Do you see how big that candle got all of a sudden? Why is that? People are like, oh, okay, they're going in now, right? There's 187.50. Can I take that? Yeah, I can go like that, bang. And I do take profit like that as a scalper. When I see a pause there, I'll lock it in, take the profit, right? Depending on what's going on, right? Now, I don't have this fully charted over here. Obviously, you can see there's level here. There's some more mess up here, right? I got clear all the way back up here. So there's a big room ahead. Now, there are some minor things here that I got to watch for as it goes up, right? And how do I get my lines under? Well, if I don't have lines there, first thing I do personally is go to a 4-hour chart, spread it out a little bit. Where's my key levels to the upside if there are any, right? What do I see behind me? Well, I got, levels up there that I can pop a line right there real quick, right? I can turn these indicators off here so you can see a little bit better, right? There and on upward. Well, there's not a whole lot of information there right now on a 4-hour. So I'll slide backward. Do I have anything behind me that shows? So I'll scroll backward and see if I can get any more information. Well, you know why I'm not getting any information back here? Guess. Could somebody tell me why there's no candles up here? Why is that? Type it in your social media. Why is there no candles here? What happened? Is this chart defective? Why is it? Why is there no candles back here? Think about it. It's at an all-time high. That's right, Barry. It hasn't been this high before. This is new history. So that makes my job even tougher, right? So now I'm going to use my L2 to help me decide, where my levels are. Now, I will use this information. I know that's all I have here, right? So now I'll come down here to the 2-minute, break it down a little bit differently, right? I can see how these all stacked up. Now, the bad thing is this is not long-term information. This is pretty much the last couple days information, right? Today's information. But that's all I got to work with, right? Other than using my L2. Now, I'll tell you, there's another thing you need to do when it does reach new highs. Now, do I need to put a new thing here? Probably not. I'll pop one there just for the sake of popping one there because it did peak and hold there, right? A little bit. I can even come down here where the bottom of these candles are if I want to mark the bottom. I can really get in here and throw a bunch of lines on here that I really don't need, but I don't have a guide because this stuff's all new information. This is new history in the making, right? Well, look, I popped these lines on. See how this got in here? Bang, 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 bang. Well, it did break through a little bit there, right? All right, but where did it stop? It stopped down here where these other ones are at, right? See that? I can draw a line there if I wanted to. But I can see right here behind me. Same way how all this hung up here. That's the only information I have to work with because it's all brand new history. But I'll trade it accordingly. Now, I also use my L2 order book. It'll show me where orders are being placed if it gets up here to this new high. I have information right now. This is all I have. This is all I need, right? So let me turn my indicators back on so I can help me make better decisions, right? So I have some points of decisions on here now that I can trade with, right? And make trading decisions based, even though it's short term, which means it's not as strong. How can I tell if it's turning around or not? Well, basically, if it breaks, let's just say, some people will say by looking at a series of candles and all that, it's really hard. Basically, if you're below all the indicators, right, your 200, your VWAP, if you're to the downside, all those, you're obviously in a downtrend. To be in a true uptrend, it would have to come back up to where it is to break even where he was before and go above the indicators again, but to the opposite direction. That would be a true uptrend. Now, we will look at other things. We'll call it like a rounded bottom. Now, this really isn't a rounded bottom. Well, there was one earlier today here somewhere, right? You can see these here. It just kind of gently comes down and gets a nice rounding up, right? Now, this one did pull back, but it's still rounded up, made like a little bowl here, right? Come back up, right? And then it started coming up. But it really wasn't a true uptrend because these can pull back at any time. But you can see it is kind of an uptrend. But it still has to come back up. It really wasn't back up to a full uptrend until it got up right here, which is where it started its downturn from. See? You can see that. So it's about right here is really the true upturn. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of nothing's ever for certain on top of that, right? They can come in here and say, oh, high enough, we're dumping it. You see that all the time during power hour, which, by the way, we just now got into power hour, right? Where's my clock at? Power hour, right? So now I have information here I can trade. Will I trade this to the upside? Yeah, if it breaks and holds above here, I will. Why? It's because now I'm getting up to this level here. I really want to see it break and hold above here, though, to really decide I want to get into this trade. More than likely, it's going to bounce either here or here and come back down, right? It's getting to be the end of the day. That has a lot to do with it also, the time of the day, right? People are going to want to be exiting their positions, taking profits, those type of things. So that's a good question, though. It is hard, really hard to say. But you can see now we're above these indicators. They're in our rear view mirror. So now we're in of uptrend, right? Can be, right? Can you say, you can also look, where did it open at and where are we at in relationship to that open? Did it come all the way back up? It doesn't necessarily have to. Basically, where your major downturn was, well, you can see that on your chart. When it comes back up to that area, it goes up the other way. Is there a certain amount of gap between the 9 and 21 to enter a trade to avoid a recrossing? No, not really. I prefer, quite honestly, I know a lot of people don't. I get nervous when you get a big gap between the 9 and the 21. I prefer these things to run tight. But this is a pretty nice here, but no, there's no defined. You make your entry on the break and hold of the 9 if that's what you're going to use, or if you're using the EWO, right? You get in on the EWO, which in this case would be around in here, right? And you ride the 9. As long as it stays, breaks and hold above the 9. Now, if you get in here and you see where it does break and hold above the 9, but it does tend to bounce off the 21, which is that purple, that means it's respecting the 21. It's bouncing off that 21 and goes right back. So that's another thing you need to be aware of and watch, right? Right now, we can see as a whole during the day, when it's got above the 9, it's stayed above the 9. It's respected it. When it has broke beneath the 9, it really didn't break and hold below the 9. It popped back up, right? Sometimes you'll see it'll break below the 9, but it'll bounce off 21, go right back up. So that's what you call it's respecting the 21, right? So is the gap? Yeah, I get more nervous when there's a huge gap, but that's just me. I like to see them run parallel. And the reason you get these big gaps is because you get these big candles, right? Because these are all trend lines, right? This is a 9 EMA, takes the last 9 candles, divides and puts an average and draws a line, right? It's constantly updating. 21's the same way. The last 21 candles, the 55 is this orange line, last 55 candles. It's math, just a simple math, right? And it draws this line. So they're constantly evolving. When you get a big gap between them, it's because you got large candles that's skewing the average. If all your candles are the same size, like let's see how these got real tight here. That's because all the candles are basically the same size, right? There's no real huge ones. Well, you get down here, see, look at how big the gap got. You had these big 3 or 4 candles, and that screws up the average, right? So you'll get a bigger gap. And that's what happens here. As these consolidate and the price doesn't change that much, these gaps will tighten up, right? And you'll get a tighter look. Basically, the math is catching up to where it's at, kind of thing. So it's just kind of, you just want it's just a visual, right? Stay above the 9, you're in the safer trade, right? Sage says, hopefully I'm investing in some crypto stuff. No, I am not personally. A lot of our members are. I don't. But we do not come in here pushing anything in particular or infer that there's going to be a run up or a run down. That's predicting and offering advice, unsolicited advice. On top of that there's going to be an actual run. Now, I'm not saying you're incorrect. We just don't talk that way here. We don't give financial investment or tax advice here. We're not financial advisors, and legally we cannot do that. We're in education and training. We help you, train you to make that decision, and I'm not questioning your comment there, Sage. You may be 100% accurate, but I don't trade crypto. I'm not that active in it. I understand it, but I don't actively trade it, and I can't debate you on it because I'm not that involved in it. But please refrain from, inferring that this is going to go to the moon or it's going to all go down to the toilet, right? Type of things. You don't have to leave. Just kind of refrain from that. Those type of comments, I'd greatly appreciate it. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea, basically, right? You get people sometimes will come in, well, the guy over on TikTok, he was talking about it in the chat, said it's going to go to the moon, right? That's the thing. I'm just cautious on that type of thing. That's all. No harm, no foul, though. All right. What else we got going on here? Mr. Mager from Nepal. Wow. I don't know if we've had anybody from Nepal. We've had people from that side of the world, but I think you might be the first person that said they're from Nepal. Welcome to our program. What time is it in Nepal? How many time zone are you in there? It is, what time is it? It's basically 3:06 p.m. in the afternoon here in the eastern United States. What time is it in Nepal right now where you're at? Probably what, 6, 7 hours? Yeah. Got to be at least 6 difference, I would think. The hair. Again, the time delay. It'll take him a few seconds to hear it after I ask it. All right. So, anyhow, any other questions here? We'll look at taking some more trades here. What else we got going on? What's gold doing? See how gold just went flat? Look how small the candles are. Look at the volume, how dead it is, right, compared to what it was. That's why I don't like trading gold metals, metals in general, right? Doesn't mean you can't make money on them. I just prefer not to because of the lower volume. I'm a momentum trader. I want to see momentum, right, on my things. All right. If you have any questions about futures or trading in general, go ahead and type them into your social media chat box, and we will try to do our best to answer your questions live. If this is your first time here, make sure you click subscribe, like, share, thumbs up over there on YouTube. Let's see. Let's go over here to YouTube. Let me refresh my page over here. How many people we got that give a thumbs up versus how many's actually watching right now? Let me refresh my statistics. And I only have 1/4 of you have given a thumbs up to this program. I'm sorry you don't like it. But, how about smashing that thumbs up button for me? Helps our algorithm. Right? I'd appreciate it for them thumbs up over there if you would. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mark Farish, for the follow. We appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for those gifts and hearts and likes. Greatly appreciate that also. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's look at the Russell. We haven't looked at the Russell here lately. Look at that thing climb. Oh, we missed that. Where's my paid members at? Why didn't somebody tell me the Russell was going up? What's the matter? What happened?
I told you a long time ago. I told you.
Christina.
Because I'm looking at ES.
Christina.
Yes.
Why did you not tell Mark that there are?
I did. I told you a long time ago.
When was a long time ago? This has
I've been telling you all day long. I've been telling you all day. And then I had to mute. I had to mute my microphone for you to go live. So.
Well, that was just to get you to be quiet for 5 minutes. I know you about blew up.
Sorry,
1446 broke out again, right? 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes, more than that now.
Yeah, it hit a double bottom.
Yeah. Okay, that would have been a beautiful trade to show everybody at home. Can I jump in this now?
You were in a beautiful trade. You were in a beautiful trade. You're always in a beautiful trade.
Oh, thanks, Christina. You're so kind. You're such a sweet, soft-hearted soul.
You're the best trader in the world, Mark.
Oh, thanks, Christina. I'm not, but thanks for the compliment.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, Christina, one of our paid members, one of our OGs, as a matter of fact. She's been with us a long time.
Wait a minute. What about me?
Yeah. See, now, you can't get in it. You're done trading for the day. Come on.
I know.
Come on.
Uncle Chanel, you got your rules.
Yeah, you already got your trades in for the day. Go sit down. Why are we saying that to her? We can't stop her from trading, but she actually developed a trading plan for herself. She had some poor trading skills and decision making in the past, and she turned her total trading career around 180 degrees. Just beautifully turned her trading career in the way she did things and became a more focused trader. And she even went as far as last week to tell us, I think it was last week, maybe before that, tell us that she had developed her own goals and trading plan, and she actually told us what they were and what she was going to do every day. And when she reached that certain level, she was going to stop trading for the day and preserve her gains. And she has done that. She's got a little weak today. She did her goal and met it, and she had a itchy trigger finger. We had to talk her off the ledge because she had made more money. Now again, we can't stop her for trading, but you know, her plan is working out so well for her financially, the way that she tweaked it to the way that she does things and the way she thinks and the goals, her personal goals that she has. And she put clear, concise, logical, smart goals, right?
Yeah.
Specific, measurable, attainable, right? Smart goals.
Very.
And it has worked beautifully every single day for her. And she almost broke her plan today and wanted to get back in there. She was getting FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Well, I can make more money. Yeah, well, you could have thrown money away too. Then you would have been mad for not sticking to your plan, right? So she's very focused now, and it is paying off like crazy for her. We're so proud of her. Really, we are, Coco. You're doing a great job. You're a great inspiration to those who are struggling, right? If you can get that focused and get doing the things you need to do, it will pay off. Just some of us are more stubborn than others, and we don't want to, our ego gets in the way, right? Well, her ego got in the way too. Like everyone, my ego gets in the way, right? We're human. We all have feelings. We want to think we know what we're doing when we don't. And sometimes it takes giant financial losses to wake you up, right? And she realized that she was losing money and she wasn't focused. She was chasing every shiny penny and not having good results, and became more focused, developed an actual written plan, and she shared her written plan with our paid members. It's incorporating everything that Coach teaches, but she wrote them down and made them real to her, right? And it's proven immensely successful for her, and we're so proud.
Yeah,
of
well,
her.
I actually am doing, I'm using, I don't go against the rules, but I just implemented my rule, of stopping at a certain point every day until I double my account, and then I can go in higher and then higher and higher as I continue to do that. But in the beginning, it's not that much, and so it's like painful on days that where I know, because I went to paper after that, and on paper I was like, I don't know, $1,800 or something, and I could have done that with real money with just one contract, but I didn't. So I'm okay.
Yep,
I'm okay.
that's good. Good job. Good job. And that's how being focused really helps, because the greatest barrier to our success is not the stock market, it's us. It's how we think. This little thing between our ears, how we think, how we rationalize, how we talk ourselves in and convince ourselves, well, just hold on a little longer, it'll come back. Next thing you know, you lost your whole account, and you're like, dang it, why didn't I get out of that trade? And we all do it. We probably all do it every day, right? We don't rip the Band-Aid off when we should. I do it. I know. I had two big red trades today. Really wasn't not ripping the Band-Aid off. It just kind of, they pulled back on me, and one I actually got stopped out on. The knife dropped. It was already pulling back, and then the knife dropped and actually stopped me out, which I like to get out of trades before it actually stops me out with my stop that I have up here. The other one I did pull the Band-Aid off before it hit my stop, but you got to get that discipline. So we're our own worst enemy. We're our own barrier to success. It's how you think, right? But we're human, and we slip back into bad habits all the time, and that's the power of a community. That's one of the things we have, by far, without a doubt, the very best trading community out there. There's none other like us anywhere in the world, and we support each other. We generally want to see everybody succeed, and we all generally understand that sometimes that success is going to take a while. Some get it faster than others. We had one gentleman in here, his first 30 days, he made $1 million. Bang, 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 every day. He caught it just like that. Just the way he thought, right? And others been in here, still haven't found success after years. And others, my own personal income has increased dramatically in the last year versus a year ago, right? Every year it gets better, right? I say it took me about 10 months for my light bulb to really go off, right? To get comfortable. It wasn't that I wasn't making money, but to be that light bulb moment come on when I realized, hey, I kind of know what I'm doing now, right? Kind of thing. It's not being cocky. It's just that you know in your knower that you know, right? Kind of thing. And everybody learns differently, right? And everybody learns at a different rate. And that's one of the things we keep reiterating to everybody. Don't compare yourself to other traders. Everybody has their own journey. What we try to do, however, history tends to repeat itself. We try to impart knowledge to prevent people from making those mistakes that we made, that Coach made, and that's why Coach developed the rules that he has, because he made those mistakes and he sees others make them. So that's why he has 7 basic rules to help you preserve your account. And we all know what those are, and they're very easy to understand, right? But we fall off the ledge from time to time, and we break them rules, and we unfortunately pay for it financially. So it's trying to remind each other. The power of the community is reminding each other every day, follow the rules. Are you following? We can't tell, I can't tell Coco to get out of a trade. Even if I can see it's going to go against her, I cannot legally tell her to get out of the trade, right? That's against the law. I cannot tell her that, right? I'm not a licensed financial advisor. But Coco's arrived at the point where she's received the training and the education and the time-based experience now that she can make those decisions on her own. And, people will ask, well, do you have a level here or so? Yeah, here's a level. I got a level here. You might want to, there's a level down there. I got a gold level here. Or there's VWAP down there. Watch out for that. But that's not telling people to get it out of trade. Just make them aware of maybe critical levels are approaching, and you need to make your decision what you want to do with that trade. So, but yes, and it's frustrating to see other people go through that when doggone well you went through it, so you can feel that pain. You know what they're going through. You actually can feel that when people give you gut-wrenching stories how they did something that they knew they shouldn't have done, that they weren't trained to do, but they did it anyway, and we all do it. I'm not any different. It pains our hearts, our little hearts, to hear the people that are upset about what they did. They realize what they did, right? And they're upset with themselves for doing it, but we know what the financial cost. We know what the emotional cost of making that poor decision, right, to do whatever it is you did, right, breaking the rules. So we try our best to reiterate the rules constantly all day long like a broken record, just to get people to their brains programmed, right, to help limit. You're always going to have losing trades. That's part of the game, right? You can't control everything. We are trading against the billions and billions and hundreds of billions of worth of institutional trading. They're the ones that control the up and down. We don't. We're just going along for the ride, right? But hopefully we're making good decisions about going along for that ride. But that still doesn't stop, Mr. Big A and Mr. Big Bucks, right, from dumping a huge order and the trade goes against us all of a sudden. If we don't have a stop, then we wreck our account. But that's why we always trade with stops, to protect ourselves from the dramatic pulls. So never trade without. Hey, Rogue Trader, good to see you again. If you haven't already, we have 3 promos amongst all our other paid memberships that we have on a normal day. We have 3 free 1-week promos that you can take advantage of today, right? We have the premium membership, which is basically your stocks and stock options trading. Starts at 8:45 on a live Zoom call, training and trading, 8:45 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And that goes on till 4 p.m. daily. We also have the crypto free 7-day trial. They have a live Zoom call training at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays. And they also have occasional pop-up trainings. And they also have training within the Discord where you can ask questions and get training there also. And then we have what you're watching here today, the futures. We start training and trading live Zoom call at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time every morning, Monday through Friday. You can come join us for absolutely free, have all the full benefits of a paid member, even though you're free for 7 days. It's kind of a kick the tire and see what goes on behind the curtain. I can assure you, once you've seen what goes on behind the curtain, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. What you are seeing on these live feeds that you're watching right now is but the tip of the iceberg what we do. Obviously, we can't go in deep dive training here live, right? I'll give you some bare bone things that we do and how I think and feel. And, again, these are for education and training purposes only. Never, ever mimic or try to copy any trade that you see me do here, right? And don't forget, you're also on a delay, minimum of 20 seconds. I've seen up to 45 seconds or so here and there also. So anyway, get over there and get that. Grab our free Discord. You get all this at our website, americandreamtrading.com. Right? Head on over and grab that. Get that free Discord. You need that because that's where we post our live Zoom links for our live trainings every day. You have to have that free Discord to get that. It's the only way we can communicate with you also, other than being in our live Zoom call right now. So, and you heard Coco speak earlier and Christina. They're on our live Zoom call. They can open their mics anytime they want and start speaking, as well as any other members. We currently have about 40 in here right now that are in here live listening and training and trading as we speak. So, good deal. Once you get over there, get that Discord, get those memberships, 7-day free trial. Now, if you don't want to mess with the 7-day free trial, we also have the VIP membership. If you pay annually on that, we will give you the VIP Gold for 6 months, I believe. Don't hold me. That's either 3 months or 6 months. I believe it's 6 months. So check all that out. All the membership details are available over on our website, American Dream Trading. So check it out. I don't know what you're waiting on. You guys don't trust free, apparently, because we had 0 people sign up for free futures yesterday. All you that were watching yesterday, not a single one of you signed up for free. I don't know why people are so untrusting. And it is totally free for 7 days. If you decide to become a membership, you do nothing, you'll automatically be billed. If you don't, you can cancel anytime during that 7-day period, and it won't cost you a thing. You will not be billed for it. So it's that simple, that easy. What are you waiting on? What does it take to get something free? People are very suspicious of free. If I told you it was probably $10 to get in it, you guys would probably pay that $10 and run over there in a heartbeat. When I tell you it's free, like, what's the catch? There's got to be something going on. There's a catch. There's got to be a scam. No, it's not. It's totally free. It is what it is. Free.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I was just thinking as you were talking about that, because I remember when I first saw Coach. I mean, I couldn't like differentiate a chart from like a map. I mean, honestly, like a driving map.
Right.
I didn't know about it, and so it was for me. It was really daunting, and I thought, oh, I could never be a trader. This just doesn't seem right. And I was watching him on my lunch break and stuff, and I did it. I said, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I stopped because I didn't do it. And so being ready is a really important thing. But because and I work full time, once I made up my mind to actually do it. Yeah, it's been tough for me, but mainly it's been tough for me because of me. And it's not tough anymore because I'm doing all the rules. It just took a while to do that. But I guess, like this is life changing stuff. It is, I'm telling anybody who is listening for sure, this is not a joke. And this is the most incredible thing I've ever been a part of. And especially like as a single mom and the whole thing, I really didn't think I was ever going to be able to retire or do anything. And now I have hope. And I don't know, like if you want to have that hope, and I encourage you to believe and to actually take it seriously and take that first step and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and take it seriously and join our group. It will be the best decision you ever made. I'm really not kidding. But anyway, I was just inspired to say that.
Who paid you to say that?
No one.
There you go. That's heartfelt. I mean, it really is. And if you would have been along her journey with us, right? That's the beauty about being here for 3 years. You see people come, you see people go, unfortunately. Does everybody get a paid membership with American Dream Trading to succeed? Absolutely not. People fail all the time. We can't guarantee success. We can't click your mouse for you, right? We can't do any of that. We can't make you show up for training. We can't make you do anything, right? It's all on you to succeed by coming in with an open cup to learn, right? And she did that. Again, she chased the shiny penny there for quite a while. We joke in here, being distracted, right?
Squirrel!
We hear that, right? Oh, over there. Where? Okay, and we go chase something. It's not any different than going through. Oh, let me trade ES. Nah, I don't want to trade. All right, let me go look at the Russell. Well, no, let me go over trade gold. That's just as bad, right? Instead of concentrating on something and sticking to it, right? So to see people grow over time, it's an exciting thing. People have been here and seen my journey, right? It's exciting to see everybody's journey as we go through here. Some are more vocal than others. Some probably are multimillionaires in here, and we don't even know it because they don't talk, and that's fine. That's their business, right? I got members in here right now I've never heard open their mic once. Imagine that, right? They don't have to, right? It's not required. It's your membership. You can use it however you so choose. But they show up every day. There's quite a few in here I've never heard talk, but they're here every day trying to learn, trying to build in their understanding, right? I'm not going to say people's names in here because it doesn't matter. It's up to you whether you want to open your mic and talk, right? So I think it's better for you if you do. You learn more by asking questions, right? Makes it more real to you. But again, it's their memberships. They can use it however they like, right? It's not for me to decide that for everybody. And we all learn at different levels. And it's just exciting to see people grow and learn, right? And we share in everybody's joy. We share in everybody's sorrows, right? We get excited when somebody makes $5 on a small account. What, $5? Yeah. $10, $20. We get excited. We get excited when people are successful paper trading. But what does that mean? Well, they're trading fake money like you see me doing here, right? I'm executing trades in real time using fake money, right? This is not real money, right? But I'm treating it as such, and that's how we retrain our members. Treat your paper trading account, your simulated account, as a real account, right? Don't be trading $1 million if you don't have $1 million in your trading account. If you have a $500 account, well, then that's all you can trade, right? Don't be, oh, look at me, I traded $1 million and I made 200,000. I'm the greatest trader. Well, that don't prove nothing, right? Just proved you threw a lot of money at something and got lucky, right? Trade your account as a real account. Don't be trading things that you would not be able to do in real life. You're trying to mimic what you'll be doing for real with real money when the time comes. Well, we get excited when people, and we had one today. He's frustrated because he wants to go to real money, and he's in a period in his life that jobs may change, come and go. He's kind of ready, but he wasn't a couple months ago, right? You can hear it in his voice, his confidence over the last few months. He's outgoing anyway, but you can tell the difference. You can hear it. Have I ever met this gentleman? Nope, never met him in real life. But he's been with us for quite a while, and it's like we do know him, right? But you can hear today, and I got excited for him. You can hear that he's evolving, and the light bulb has gone off. He's understanding. He's getting excited because he's being a more consistent trader. He's getting good trades in his paper trading account. He's treating it as such, right? He's not in there trading $1 million, right? He doesn't have $1 million account, but he's trading it and treating it like a real account. He's getting in and out when he should, right? Does he still make mistakes? Well, yeah, you're still going to lose money in trades, but this is part of the paper trading, is to help build your confidence and making sure you know how to use your broker software. That's the main thing it's for. But then it's to take what you've learned and apply them in a real life setting, even though it is fake money, but you trade it accordingly. And we get excited when people have successful paper money. Matter of fact, I yell at them every day. They would say, well, I made $800 today, but it was paper. Quit saying it's paper. Why? And the reason I say that, yes, I understand it's fake money. And no, I'm not getting any, anybody can say I could say I made $20,000 a day. If it's a lie, nobody's going to know any difference, right? That's not the point. The point is they're executing their paper trading. That shows that their knowledge and understanding and grasp of the concepts, and they've been here enough now that they've been doing it day in and day out, that they're getting it. They understand it. They're ready to make that transition to a real live money account. Now, when you first do that, that's another ball game, because now you got real money in it, right? And we train on that too. When you go from trading fake money to real money, I say it anyway, so I guess I kind of do. I always apologize before I say it, not to get graphic, but you get that butt pucker effect, right? Your butt's going to go first time you trade real money. Now you got skin in the game. If I make a wrong decision, am I going to lose this money and wreck my account, right? That's when it gets really real. But he's built his account up now. He's built his confidence up now that he even stated. I think if the circumstances in his life that he's keeping a side eye on happens and forces him into becoming a full-time trader, he is now, he believes he's now got to the point that he could do this full-time if need be, right? So that's exciting to see somebody come to those conclusions, that light bulb moment, right? And we're happy for him and everybody else. So I yell at him every day, because every day somebody says, well, I made $800 or I made $50, but it's in paper. No. Yes, okay, it's paper, but you are successful at generating a positive trade because you're applying the skills and the training that we teach here. So anyway, right? So treat it like a real account, and we're excited. We get excited for those things. He told us what he made today, and I was just as excited that it was as if it was real money. That's how I look at it. I look at the success of the execution as being the successful. It's not about the money. It's about the execution of the trade. Questions, comments, Crazy Love, thanks for the follow. Victoria, user 416409. And Marcus, thanks for joining. Flick, thank you for them follows, right? And Jeff B., Rogue Trader. Okay. You can't hear the Zoom in here. You didn't hear those people talking. Oh, that's a problem because Mark probably didn't click a certain button that he's supposed to click. I wish somebody had said that earlier. It's on. You should be able to hear them. You honestly can't hear. You didn't hear Coco talking over there on TikTok? How about YouTube? Did you hear them talking? The girls? Rogue Ranger said, I don't know what time that was, but said he couldn't hear him.
Where'd you go, Mark?
I'm here.
Can't hear you.
I'm here.
I think he ended up muting himself.
Oh, I ended up muting myself when I was moving the button. Yeah, you guys couldn't hear the members talking over there on the Zoom members? I got it turned on. Should be able to hear them. If it isn't, I don't know why.
I could hear Coco, so.
Oh, well, YouTube says they can hear, so that might have been an old message. Jen says she can only hear me every day and never the members. Members, open up your mics and all of you start talking at once.
Hi.
Hello, what's going on? What's up?
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Can you hear us? Is it
All right,
choppy?
Jen,
Or is it
did
just...
anybody on TikTok just hear all the members talking at once? It's possible there's a setting or something here that's not. I mean, it did do an update the other day, but you should be able to hear them.
Yeah.
Jen says nothing. Any other people on TikTok? Nope, I can't hear you. All right, so talk again.
Nice pull on MYM.
Talk again, paid members.
Can you hear us
Hello.
now?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
It's showing and feeding it to them. I'll have to look at that after. Thanks for pointing that out. YouTube says they can hear you fine. So it's in this TikTok software, Live Studio software. I'll have to check that out here.
Yeah.
They did an update, so I don't know. Maybe there was something that got changed by accident. I don't know. Should be able to hear you though. I know I have the share sound part on. It is on, but for some reason, well, we'll look at it later. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. YouTube said they can hear it just fine. All right. Thank you anyway. All right. Well, another reason, go over to YouTube and listen to it over there. There you go.
Mark, I can see you now. I can never see you. I see you now, so your settings are something's different.
What? On the Zoom?
On the Zoom, I can see you. Yeah.
You can see me? How can you see
I
me?
see you. Oh.
Oh, I know why, because I'm sharing the wrong screen. That's why.
Mhm.
There we go. That's why.
There you go.
I'm sharing the broadcasting software screen. I clicked on the wrong one. Man, I'm just screwing.
I'm glad you don't have that afro that I see, though. I'm glad for that, because we better go to the disco with that.
I'm going to fix this real quick. There we go. Hang on. All right. There we
Big
go.
fro.
All right. All right. So now you should be able to not see me, and you see the full screen this time. Okie dokie.
There you go. Get a free 7-day, and you can look at Mark McFro's fro
Yeah.
every day.
Right.
See it. Look at
Yeah, I remember have fun with AI, and they gave me an afro. Silly people. We were talking about times in the past when those things were a thing. All right. Okay. Bumblebee said, "Hey, Christina."
Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. What's Triple Witching Day? That is on the third Friday of the month at the end of the quarter. Is Triple Witching Day.
Tomorrow, right? I think that's tomorrow.
Yes, it is tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Tomorrow's the third Friday of the month. Is that not correct? I believe so.
Yep.
That is when
that's
you get
the day you want to
expirations
stay
in
out
stocks,
if you don't.
options. You get expirations in futures and so forth. Everything tends to expire, the ones that bought them on a quarterly basis. So now TikTok's saying
Very volatile day.
It can be. I don't believe that it really has been the last few quarters.
It hasn't been lately.
I have seen it though, but
yeah.
I look back at my journal because I write them down here in the last year or so, and I didn't note anything that was really now. This may be a little bit different with the FOMC meeting because we're still riding the euphoria, the after effects of the speech yesterday and the Fed's decision. That's why we still have all this craziness going on. So,
right.
Yeah,
big
that's
pull on
when you
MYM.
get all the major contracts expiring on that same the quarterly contracts. So people got to exit them before they turn to dust, basically, right? They got to take their profits and get out or roll them over. So there's going to be a lot of exiting of contracts, which can lead to sharp rises up and down. But people get out of them all day, so it kind of evens out. But there can be big spikes potentially for that very reason. Anyhow, there we go. Thanks for bringing that up also. There's two things you've brought up, Jen.
Check out MYM, Mark.
Check out, MYM. We got a call out. All right, MYM.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Where's that at? That's a double bottom. Do I want to get into that trade yet? Nope. I want to wait and see if it breaks and holds below that to the downside, but we are in the power hour. Anything could happen up or down here at this time due to the volatility of the last half hour of trading, especially the last 10, 15 minutes, right? What's the ATR on RTY there, Christina?
I have no idea. I don't have that. I don't have that.
18 on a 2-minute candle. What's it on a 1-minute candle? Because I would be going to scalp this on purpose. If I decide to do that, it's 12. So a 25 tick would be plenty in my case. So I'm going to leave it there. And we'll see what we do here. Do I want to bounce off that bottom, or is it going to pull down? This is the bad part about being this time of the day. The risk factor goes through the roof because it could easily dump just as easily as it can go up, right? So,
yeah, it doesn't stick to the rules of the day, like,
yes, correct.
The indicators and all that. It's kind of almost like an event.
Yes, it's dumping of contracts, buying of contracts, right? Can I buy up in here? Yeah, I'm going to buy here, but I'm looking for a bounce off that 9 there. Can I get some profit before it hits that? We'll see. It got in a little late there, later than I wanted to, but we'll see here. If this turns green, I'm taking it because it's probably going to bounce off the 9. I'm going to take it at $50. Bang, bang, that quick, $50. Where else you going to make $50 that quick? See how I did that?
And I'm in a put, so I'm just kind of hanging out till it,
you're in a put. Why?
I'm in a 2-minute EWO to the
okay.
downside. Yeah.
Well, it probably bounced off the 9, and it did a little bit. Okay,
right.
Here it's going to test it again. Does it want to break and hold to the upside? We'll see. Orders are about the same size up and down right now. Let's see if this breaks and holds above the 9 here. If it does, it's on the shoulder of the previous candle. Is this candle going to get a little bit of oomph or not? Let's see here what it might do. Looking. It's got a little bit of oomph. Let me see if I can take a quick pop here on this and see if I can capitalize some few dollars out of this one. I'll take that $200. Bang, bang. That's like that. Oh, why'd you get out? Why didn't you hold it longer? Well, there's $200 there. Would you take $200 and flush them down to $201 bills and flush them down your toilet? No, it must have some value to you then, huh? There we go. Do I want to continue to scalp this same candle out again? Well, it's not really a smart thing to do. That's called chasing the candle, but I still got up here to VWAP. I might be able to snag a little bit of that. And there's my stop loss. I'm going to put that right below the Tokyo session open in case it pulls back all of a sudden. Now this one right here was not really a smart entry. That's all right. I'm already in it. Now I got to trade to trade and watch it. If it goes green, I'm getting out. I'm not going to play games. This was not a good entry for me. I got in a little later than I should have because I was yakking, right? And I tried to jump in, and now I'm going to pay the price here. Let's see. We'll give it a moment here to move, see what happens. If this pops back up above there, if I see even a little bit of some green here, which green means I got to get above this line right here, at least one tick to pay for my transaction fees. I am showing you the actual dollar value of this. I normally don't. I usually have it on just on my contracts. I know if I'm green or not, right? So it came up here and stopped, right? And if it don't here, I got to rip the Band-Aid off, right? This right here, it matched that candle there back to this Tokyo session open. This don't bounce, I got to get out of this trade here, right? I'm not going to let it go all the way down. I'm getting out. There I go. I got out. But anyway, so that was a loss there, right? I tried to game that up to the VWAP there, and it chose not to. Why? Probably because I don't have my chart charted out there, and I have a level, but that was probably obvious if I'd had this properly charted out. Oh, look at that. Look at over here. What's over here, right? Here's the issue of not having your charts charted out. I jumped into that, not knowing, because I didn't look. Right there's where I got in, right? That's where it rejected back off of. Look how these stopped right there. Clearly told me that that was a level that I didn't have charted. And what happened? What I talked to you about. Not having a roadmap, being able to make educated decisions. And that actually cost me real fake money, right? So, and I let it run longer just to show you the point of that decision. But I didn't have a level mark there, and I was watching VWAP, right, instead. But it was quite obvious right here today, right? Look at all them. Back here, I can go clear back. I can keep going back. Look at all these times this bounced right here. That's a very strong level, and I didn't have it charted out. If I'd have done my homework, right, properly, I would have had that charted out, right? And I wouldn't have made that mistake because I could see there was a level there, and I would have waited for it to break and hold above that. But even then, I wouldn't have entered it because VWAP's right there. It's just too close. And I would have never made that mistake. The value of charting historical levels. Do as I say, not as I didn't do just there, right? But now I have one. Learned the hard way. It cost me money to learn that lesson, even though it was fake money. I don't like to lose. Actually, I was kind of not expecting that to happen. Had my eyes focused on VWAP when there was a clear resistance level there. Did you learn something there? Huh?
I, on the other hand, had my lines, so I got out. I flipped it, reversed it, and I got out again, flipped it again. And now I'm not in anything, but I flipped it a couple times so I could capitalize on both sides.
Yes.
That was fun.
Lilio over there in YouTube. I am trading my paper trading account. I can trade whatever the account gives you. What's it give you? 1 million, 10 million, whatever. But I do trade 100 contracts in my real account every day. I could go higher, but I don't. I just keep it right max of 100, depending on what's going on. But yes, I do have a larger account, but I still trade it the same way I did when I had a smaller account, right? That's how I got a bigger account, by trading a smaller account every single day, building my account up. That was only 10 contracts. That's only, if you were in Trade-Evate, that's only $10,000, right? That's not a big account. That's actually considered a small account, a $10,000 account. So that's all the margin it required. As soon as I got out of that trade, it put all that margin right back in, and now I can trade. But this here, I'm always upfront and honest. I know you can't see it because my where it says paper trading is actually behind where I'm sitting here. My headshot, it's where it shows that's actually behind that. You can't see it, but I always upfront and honest. I always tell you I'm paper trading. I never lie about that. I try not to use my real account while I'm live because it's too many. I've got a monitor over here, monitoring chats over here to my right. Over here on my left, I have the TikTok feed, the YouTube feed up. I have in front of me over here on the monitors, monitoring my live feed statistics, make sure that it still works. So I'm looking and literally turning my head left to right and center, monitoring things. So that's why I don't trade with my real money. Now, yesterday, did I trade with my real account? Yes, I had it off to the side. I had already predetermined I was going to do that. Remember when we went live for the FOMC meeting? I had time while we were listening to him talk, and I was trading that time. That's why, but that's all I was doing. I didn't take my eye off my trade, right? And so I was actually trading my live account, but it was off to the side there. So when I'm doing it live, I have traded live on here a couple of times with my small account just to demonstrate. But yeah, I'm not going to get distracted for a second. Or somebody say, hey, can you look at RTY? And I'm in a Dow Jones trade, a YM trade. Can you look at art? And I'll go like that. And I'm like, yeah. Then I'll get on a tangent, start rambling on about something, and 10 minutes later, I'm like, dang it, I had a trade over here in YM. Well, yeah, that could be disastrous to your account, right? You forget what you're doing, right? You lose your focus. If you're in a trade, a live trade, you need to be live focused on it 100%. That's the only thing that should matter to you in a world during a live trade is that candle and what it's doing at that very moment. What is your barrier to profits, right? So that's what you need to do. So yes, Lila, I do have a large account, but anyway. Anyhow, there we go. Matter of fact, one of our members, I don't know what the final count was what, 2.5 million, 2.2 million or something today that one individual made without saying the name? Anybody hear what a final number was? I don't know. I didn't hear. Did very well on that, on his trading today. And he's got a humongous account, right? And he trades bigly. But he's experienced. He's not only did he trade before he came here, he increased in his knowledge once he was here at American Dream Trading, and has really just killing it. But he has a large account, and he built it up to that. It didn't happen overnight. All right, so everything is pulling to the downside. We have about 13 minutes left in the trading day. Any final questions here? This turns into the most volatile part of the day, especially the last 10 minutes. You can see a lot of up and downs. And you know what? This has got to be the first day I didn't get, well, no, this is about the second day I did not get a warning that I had to do a puzzle piece or anything on the TikTok. Very strange that happened. Wonder what the difference is. Why not today is my question. Doesn't mean it can't do it in the next 12 minutes, but, you know, why not today? What's causing that to happen or not?
It's because Christina is here.
That's
No,
it.
no, 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 no.
That's it.
Aw, thanks.
Well, there you go. You got to be here every day now. No excuses.
Hey,
I
Mark, I
try.
have a question.
Try.
Okay, what's your
I'll
question?
stop an MES
If you,
going down.
All right,
Just
we
so
got a
you know.
question, Christina.
I was going to say, if you could only trade a 2-hour block each day, which hours would you trade?
9:30 to 11.
Okay.
That's where your most volume is. I mean, I love the hour to hour and a half before the London opens, but you're talking getting up at trading at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, which I do on a regular basis now because there's a lot of action, and the London Open. But then even the London Open tends to die after about an hour, you know, sometime, most of the time.
And London opens at 3, is that right?
3 a.m. Eastern, yes.
Okay.
Tokyo opens up at 7 p.m. Eastern. London opens at 3 a.m. New York opens at 9:30. By far, the New York Stock Exchange is the largest market, right? Largest exchange, I should say, as far as stock trading. So that's where all the volume's at. It will be every single day. It doesn't really change. So if you really want the movement, the volatility, that's where you want. Now, you may not want that. We always tell our new traders to stay out the first half hour for that very reason, do we not? Because that's how you can wreck your account. Can you make a lot of money? Yes. Right? Oh, Bumblebee. Thanks. Bzzz. Why aren't you in here, Bumblebee? Or are you? Why aren't you in the live Zoom, Bumblebee? Huh? 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 Come on, Bumblebee. You've been quiet. All right. I'm just calling you out. That's all. There we go. Yeah, my mama told me I was special too. That's why she tied a pork chop around my neck to get the dog to play with me. All right, what's moving? Anything, buddy? See anything moving here? I got my mini charts over here on my one screen, and I'm watching. They are trying to swing upward a little bit. It's very volatile. There's the Russell. Let's look at NQ. I like that volatility on NQ, so we'll see what that.
MES is moving.
Okay, thank you. NQ is volatile, like we would expect it to do. Yes, to also looks like NQ. We do have VWAP and the 200 to the upside, so you have to be careful on that on both of them. Now, the Nasdaq is already above VWAP on a 1 minute chart. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. I thought you were in that membership. Sorry. Could be for a week. We have a free futures for 7 days. Feel free to join us. All right. 9 minutes left in the market. See if this thing's going to shoot way up or way down, or is just going to kind of hang here. All right. I don't see anything. Not looking very exciting to me. Looking very exciting to you? No. Just maybe going out with a whimper today. We'll see. There's gold. Gold actually started rising back up. Yeah. It's up there, but far from it's where it could be. It got a little volume. See how the volume candles came up here just at the end? But other than that, it was taking a dirt nap, right? YM, the Dow is right there at VWAP also. So you got two critical indicators. You got this, the VWAP, and then the 200s up there. So this it could shoot up there. They could dump a bunch of orders in there and this thing could take off like a rocket. You just don't know, right? That's why Coach says you don't
M2K is on a 2 minute to the upside.
Okay, I'm not going to worry about a 2 minute EWO now because
I know, but it's just it's a way above everything is all.
The rules don't apply anymore at this time of the day, right? So
True.
I'm
But
going here
I was
with a
just
tight
saying it's
stop.
up there.
If I get stopped out, oh well, at least I'm protecting my fake account, right? This is only I don't know if it tells me 13 tick, which is not enough, but I'm going to leave it there anyway. If that way it stops me out quicker if it pulls and goes the opposite way. I'm still down $100. Now I'm at break even. Let's see what happens here with the Dow. Will the Dow move, or is it going to just go out with a whimper? We'll see. There's $100 profit. Can I take that? Yeah, I probably should have, huh? There's 200. Let's see if this thing shoots to the moon here. Is it going to the moon? Oh no, it's up 300. It's up 350. Do I take it? Because this can pull back just as fast. Oh, it's going to go up there to the 200. That little blue line up there. Can it get there? You know what I'm going to do, don't you? You know I'm going to get out before it gets there. I'm going to lock in my profit. Coming up to a little minor double top right there. I'm going to get out before it gets all the way up there. It's pausing. It's pausing. Oh, it's going up. I'm watching the bid and ask line, and there's a red candle. I'm out. And there's whatever that's at, $600. Bang, bang. Where can you make $600 that fast? Bang, bang. It's coming up to that 200. See how that works? That's how you scalp. That's very hard. It's very stressful. ES could not break it above VWAP, right? And we have about 5 minutes left in the market here. What the Russell do? The Russell, look at that. Look at the Russell go, right? To the moon, right? Oh, let me chase that real quick. Oh, I got to get in there. That thing's going, it's going to the moon. I can tell. I got a feeling, right? I got a feeling that's going to the moon. I got to buy that right now. Oh, look at that go up. That can't stop now, right? This is how you wreck your account doing this stuff, right? Well, number one, if I took the seconds, I could have told you it's at the top of that channel there, right? I have about 5 minutes left. It's already shot up. How many candles? What is our candle rule, Christina? What do we use on a 1 minute chart?
5 to 7 candles.
What does that mean?
That means, it's going to turn around most likely.
It might
Can't,
pull
not
back after
100%,
5
but
to 7
yeah,
candles, right? So how many we got?
exactly.
1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6. Oh, look what happened on the 7th candle. See, I would never enter that for real. See, now look, I'm out $450. Oh, $600 I just lost. Why? Because I didn't pay attention to and apply what coach teaches us every single day. 5 to 7 minute candle rule is on a 1 minute chart. If you get 5 to 7, anywhere generally between 5 and 7 candles in one direction, it'll generally pull back, meaning people will take a profit. Doesn't mean it's going to reverse. It doesn't mean it can't continue up, but people will generally take profit after 5 to 7 minutes. And that's what the 5 to 7 candle rule is. And there you saw it in plain sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 7th candle, they took profit. It could be at the 5th candle. It could be anything, right? So I jumped in that on purpose. I didn't jump in it for that reason. I jumped in to show you that I was going to lose money in the trade because I jumped in right here at the top of that channel. And I already told you earlier, I always respect the top and bottom of these channels that we have with coaches indicators, right? It's a safer place. I was trying to show you that it was going to pull back because of that. I didn't even notice at first because my chart was spread out that it was 5 to 7. There we go. Yeah, Bumblebee, we don't need those kind of messages there. Thank you. You got to watch what you say in the live social chats. All right. I know you were joking around, but just be careful. Thank you. All right, what do we got? What time is it? What's the official time here? I can't see it because my clock's on the other screen. 3 minutes
3:57. Yep.
There we go. Couldn't see my unit that I'm using to broadcast with is in my road, but I can slide this over here so I can see it. All right. We are live here 3 times daily. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time daily, Monday through Friday. I'm live here Monday through Friday also, live from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And we have the aftermarket show daily also over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading, with our lovely host and training moderator, Dawn. She will answer your questions the same way we do here. You can actually join her panel live with an open microphone and a camera if you want to. Or, you're all right, Bumblebee. No harm, no foul. It automatically hit it anyway. Keywords. So we're live here. So upon conclusion of all of our live broadcasts, you can find the replay immediately upon conclusion of the broadcast because they're all auto posted to our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. So if you missed something or you wanted to review something, you can always go to our YouTube channel. I highly recommend that everybody on TikTok go sign up for our YouTube account. All you gotta do is click the subscribe and notify. I generally have issues with the TikTok software, but I had it 0 today. So that's a good thing. Also, we have over 2,800 training videos that you could go look at and watch and train for absolutely free over on our YouTube channel. If you're interested in our paid memberships, head over to our American Dream Trading website and you can join us live daily starting as early as 4 a.m. through 4 p.m. daily. That's over 12 hours of live Zoom training and trading daily, depending on your membership level. We also have those 3 7-day free trials also available over on our website, americandreamtrading.com. Check those out. You get the premium starting at 8:45 with a live Zoom call. You can get the crypto where they do live Zoom training and trading at 7:15 on Wednesday nights and occasionally during the week. And you have the futures, which you're at right now. We start training and trading at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time daily, Monday through Friday, in a live Zoom call with me and other moderators and live members. Glad you all could be here today. Make sure anybody that you come in contact with now and the rest of the day, that you would be a positive influence in their life, that you would be that one sole person to actually lift others up and not tear them down. You don't know what that person's been through. They may be smiling at you and acting all happy, but you really don't know what's going on behind that smile. So try to leave lasting positive impressions with those who you come in contact. And we will see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. I'm glad that you could be here. And We will see you tomorrow.